Today I have the one and onlys. That doesn't really work when there's two of you, Jen and Simon Floriani. So,
Hello, Heidi. Great to be here.
Yeah,
So grateful to
wonderful.
be working with you again around the world.
yeah, I can't wait. We're going to have 2 weekends in a row, aren't we? That is
Yeah.
just too cool.
Barcelona and what is it? Northern America.
Yes,
Yes,
Cairo.
Washington State,
Yes.
Right.
Cairo Fest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the first one, the one that we want to talk about today, is the upcoming Kids Summit because it's a bit of a special one this year. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Well, it's a first ever, and for those of us that have been seeing kids for years, I have to thank you again for helping to coordinate a PhD that's a double-blind, study on newborn babies. It's literally going to change the course of chiropractic in the world, especially for those of us that know the priority and the importance of seeing families. So, can you tell us about what on earth is going on with this study and why we should all contribute, at least attend, but if not, help fundraise for it?
Yeah, so this year's Kids Summit's attendance, like all the funds, because you guys are speakers, we're all coming, we're all paying our own way as speakers, so that all the money that's raised from this year's Kids Summit is going to go towards this PhD study that Jenna Dewar is doing at Auckland University. And as you said, it's the first ever randomized controlled trial on newborn babies receiving chiropractic care. And that's literally half my talk. So at the Kids Summit, if you want to learn more about this study, why it's so cool, I'll give you a few little teasers. Like, we're going to be recording EEG. So we're going to be recording the brain waves of these babies. We've already been trialing this at the lab back in New Zealand. So cute, so exciting. We're getting these tiny little EEG caps for these little babies' heads. But we're also measuring movement outcomes because we know that the kids that we're recruiting for the study are the kids that have all the asymmetry, like the torticollis or the can't turn one way or can't breastfeed on one side, or the typical baby that comes and sees a chiropractor, colic, not necessarily sleeping well. We're also recording their quality of life based on the mum's documented outcomes. So there's the three things: the brain waves, the actual movement. There's this cool new app that Jenna's primary supervisor, I'm the secondary supervisor along with Imran Kamiatsi from the EEG side of things, and the primary supervisor's done this work with an app recording movements and documenting this, the asymmetry or not of the posture and the movements in these newborn babies. So what a study, because, and I know you guys probably know this better than me because you guys lecture on this topic, but what's really, really cool is that if these kids don't get our care, they have this terrible detrimental outcome in health. And this they've shown in like many, many studies that, so babies need our care, which I know you guys know, but this will be one of the first ever studies to show or not, the outcomes both in the brain, in their health and their movements. So how cool is that?
That is just
And that type of work and research is not cheap. So give us some kind of an idea of, what's involved and why, as a profession, we need to rally together and support something like this.
Yeah, well, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we started fundraising for it. We've managed to get Jenna a scholarship already, thank goodness. So she's covered. And then the rest of her salary is covered by the New Zealand College. Imran and I are covered by the New Zealand College. Her primary supervisor is covered by Auckland University, where he's got his job. But we still need the caps and the equipment. We've got an EEG technician that's going to be helping with the data collection. It needs to be blinded. We need the chiropractic care, which we think we're going to get volunteers for. We've got a couple of people, really clever chiros that work with babies, but we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
so for €560, you chiropractors could come to the seminar. You'll get to rub shoulders with our giant Heidi and
Simon and Jen
and all the other speakers. We're going to socialize.
all the other speakers.
We are residents of Barcelona now, so we're really going to take the time to show Heidi and everyone else that attends
All the things to
all
see
the
in
cool
Barcelona.
stuff in Barcelona. We've just been chatting about this amazing entertainment they offer on the top of the roof of Casa Batlló, which is
I can't wait. Tell us about
big
that.
apartment building that he built. And on the top, every evening they have musicians playing, and you watch the sunset and drink champagne whilst you listen to amazing music, dancing around this incredible nature-designed rooftop from Gaudi.
Well, that's going to be tough, Simon. I don't know if I can,
Yeah.
really handle that.
Yeah, so for €560, you can contribute to research, people. That's the most important thing.
If you're in Europe, it's not hard to get on a flight. Join us that
€15,
of September.
For a weekend with us.
13th, 14th of September. That's when you want to be there.
About a month and a month away. So make sure you book in urgently and come. It's an expensive ticket, but what it is it's you making a statement back to the kids and families out there that you are so committed. It's the only trial we've ever had like this. So we really need your support. We need this fundraising. We need to support Heidi and the incredible work you're doing. So if you could...
Plus, there's a lot of cool people to listen to. I mean, the speaker lineup is amazing. How about you two? What are you going to be sharing?
You get to pay to contribute to the research, but you'll also have the weekend listening to speakers who all, have it in their heart that they want to inspire and, mentor these chiros as to what they can do in their practice to better serve their families. So for us, we're talking about what we've noticed in babies with the increase in tongue tie, which I know...
It's a 1,000-fold increase in tongue tie in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Really?
There has been enormous amount of, research we've been able to do is showing that it's like the spina bifida of the north end of the neural tube. These kids have not got enough, glutathione, all the glue that glues the nervous system together is not happening. And like the little tuft of hair in the lower back, a tongue tie is a sign of poor neural clefting.
Yeah.
And so we have to be we're the only people that can fire that up, adjust that into some form of order, and cutting it is not the solution. And so we've been able to break it down, how the 4 stages are evidenced, how to help work and correct those 4 stages of tongue tie, and steer them away from barbaric, revisions of their tongue.
And it's a bit...
And if you haven't learned from Jen and Simon before, Jesus Christ, you're missing out if you don't come up along and learn from these guys, because they've got such a clear, awesome way of communicating information. I know they do their research. Oh my God, these two do their research. And the way they can present and teach is just phenomenal. But they are also locals. So we're offering up some fun time together, aren't we? We're offering up, if you come along, we will put on a bit of fun on the Saturday night. We're hoping it will be the Saturday night that we'll have some fun together in the evening.
Well, that's the important thing that actually helps chiropractors too, is because it's in that casual, relaxed time that you can actually look at your hurdles or your own personal blocks and demystify them rather than just sit and take notes. You can actually have time with people that have got the confidence that you may not have or the experience to go, no, that's where it sits. And when those things drop on you, you get more confidence in practice and ability to communicate. So that's why we like the social
to attend, to come and socialise with us.
Yes.
But to learn a lot of great meat and potatoes to apply when they get back into their practice. And then the third reason is to,
fundraise for research.
It gives you ownership and buy-in. You actually put your money there and go, I contributed to that study, and it gives you a different level of conviction, and it also it lasts a lifetime. It's a seed that lasts a lifetime because you know that you helped. And we can't all be as smart as Heidi and do the same work, but we can contribute. And it makes a difference, doesn't it, Heidi? When you get the cash.
Well, absolutely. I'm also talking about, because I'm also going to be presenting, even if you've come before, guys, come again this year, because this year we're fundraising for the baby study, number one. But I'm also going to be sharing, so in my speaking slot, I'm going to be doing 2 things. I'm also going to be talking about the teenage randomized control trial where we recorded 12 weeks of chiropractic care and a month follow-up. And they were, asymptomatic, just like reoccurring ache, pain or tension in their spine, so that we've got justification for it. And we've done, brain changes in them and their quality of life outcomes and things like that as well. So I'll share with you where we're at with that. And that's been funded, in part by previous Kid Summits. So there is so much new information always that you can learn. And you guys haven't been on in Barcelona before, have you? This is your first one in Barcelona?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. No, we've got some good speakers. I've done several interviews, but it's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
Well, even if it was not on your seminar schedule, it's your time to contribute. As a chiropractor, we're giving our time and energy because we want to create this culture of giving back and investing in the profession, because it's not a lot of money to ask you to put in and to come along, especially you will get those benefits, but it is really, even if you can't.
If we don't do it, who's going to do it?
Exactly.
Right?
So if you're in Europe, you need to be there.
Yeah.
13th, 14th
If you
September.
really can't, we are coordinating a way to do it virtually so you can attend or have a recording of the event at, a fraction of the price, probably half of the price of the attendance. So even if you can only contribute that, please click the link and sign up for the virtual attendance, because you're going to get the information firsthand and be able to listen to the recording. But it would be great if you could just put that extra bit, if you could just do a registration, and if you can't come, pay the full registration and give them money.
And we'll try and we'll organize this recording. And if you can't even do that, then there is also a link straight through to the New Zealand College of Chiropractic's website, where you can directly support this baby randomized control trial study. It says that it's for Jenna's scholarship, but she's already got her scholarship. So it's not for the scholarship, it's for the project itself. But I haven't managed to change that website yet. These things take time.
So if you're listening to this and you're not in Europe and able to physically attend and you want to donate financially to the research, what do they do again?
So we'll put in a link as well, but it's the New Zealand College of Chiropractic. And then you click on the research and it takes you to the research department. Then you've got to scroll right down to the bottom. I don't know why they've hidden this, but don't get me started. And then it says support our research. And then you can do a monthly donation or a one-off donation or a specific project donation. Either way, no matter how, if you donate and you write it's for the baby study, it will go 100% of your money will go to the baby study. College takes nothing, no overheads, no nothing. So every penny then goes directly to this project.
Beautiful. Amazing. Very good. And then people can obviously get updates as the project continues and find out all that.
And if you are a donor on the direct donor through the New Zealand College, we send you updates as well. So you get regular updates on projects and what's going on and how much we are managing to do thanks to your support. But now is really, really important, because this is the first ever newborn baby, randomized control trial, measuring their brain changes, looking at their health outcomes. And it really is scary what happens to these kids, their health trajectories, if they don't get our care. If they don't get any care, Yeah. So we have to start documenting what we know and what we've seen in practice works.
Yeah, because that's so powerful in our communication. It's powerful with the confidence that chiropractors then have conveying that, impact that we have. So very exciting.
I know.
Heidi, now that we've got a little bit more time to chat, tell us what you've been up to and how people who, want to spend some time with you and learn from all your amazing resources and things, what they can do.
So I've got a few upcoming talks. I've got a bit of a fundraising event in London, just at Heathrow, for the Scottish College of Chiropractic. So we're doing a little fundraiser there coming up at the end of August, early September, the first weekend. And then we've got the Kids Summit weekend that I know you guys are going to be attending as well, where we're raising money for this first ever randomized control trial PhD study of Jenna Dewars, looking at chiropractic care on newborn babies. And then I've got Chiro Fest, and again, I know I'm going to be joining you again there, so that'll be fun in Washington State. Well, it's Portland, isn't it? I think so, but anyway, it's on the Washington State side of Portland. And then I have got a talk at a Parker event, so that's also in the States. And then I think I get to go home for a little bit. Oh no, I've got one more event off in Washington State again, but that's in November. But in between times, I have got obviously my Chiro's Academy and Chiro's Hub, and I've just recently started a platinum membership on my chiroshub.com platform, where I'm working with people.
Tell us about that.
I'm working with people. I don't know why it took me a little bit of a while to figure that out, that people might actually want to learn from me. Funny that. But anyway, so I've got a lot of recorded classes, but people get on there and they go like, it's like drinking from a fire hose. I don't know what to do, right? Yeah. And so now I've set aside, I've outlined, you're going to start here, you're going to go this step, this step, this step, and then I come in online live and we work through the concepts and the ideas and the questions, and I literally get people going, and it's been unbelievable, Simon.
So is that for them to be able to start doing research?
No, it's for them to learn what we already know and to integrate it into practice. Yeah. I've had chiropractors tell me that they're getting checked more regularly now because they now understand the science. Can you imagine what that's going to do to their confidence in communicating to patients, their need for chiropractic care?
Oh, that's
just transforming.
Yeah, if you can, we notice that speaking around the world now that so many chiropractors don't even have their own prefrontal cortexes set up right. You know, they
No.
can't even have their own brain functioning, which is why we've pulled into these retreats so that we can actually have time with them around the pool or on the pirate ships, sitting there going, okay, what's going on for you? How do we, and adjusting them so that they are getting the feeling of how important it is to be adjusted and give that to their community, but more importantly, to reinvest in themselves.
Tell me more about that though, Simon, because I don't think people are aware. You're running retreats for chiropractors.
Yeah, so we do, instead of a weekend, in a hotel, we're in fresh air environments, places where the people live over 100 and just eat good, wholesome food, go swimming in the ocean, do 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon of teaching and studying, and the rest of the time go on nature walks, pirate ships, ocean trips, all these things. We're going to Morocco in November. Fighting
Sounds wonderful.
Well, I was just thinking that's part of the culture. We grew up with Charlie Ward used to do these when we were first in practice, where we'd go to a hotel, swim with kids and families, bringing family. I think one of the reasons our kids are all chiropractors is because they saw us living that lifestyle of balance.
Yeah.
And making sure we reinvested in the family unit, not just dad's away again at a seminar, mum's away again, and we're with a babysitter. We want to have a culture of taking our kids so they see chiropractors in real life, having fun, learning at the same time, and then also adjusting each other heaps. And
So when is your next one?
we've got one the weekend before the Kids Summit in the Costa Brava.
Fantastic.
We did that last year, was amazing. And
And one in Morocco in November.
And then we're doing a surf and CE with Billy D in late November at a 12-room mansion overlooking the ocean, and surf.
Billy there too. Billy D.
Coming along. So
Love
to
to
that.
do. But just
I love him.
back to you, Heidi. So if there's chiros who, because I know about your resources, what does it look like for them to be able to use, the Chiro Hub and some of those things that you've created in their practice? What does it give them?
So we've basically built 3 platforms. So we've got a platform for you chiropractors to learn the science yourself. Obviously, that's quite important that you own your own science, and it's all online. And then we've got a platform that we've built with resources for the patient. So it's sort of at a level where they don't have to understand anatomy and physiology and, biochemistry. So it's sort of just giving you the facts. And these are like little whiteboard animations, or we've got blog articles or summary articles and PDFs that you can, hand out to your patients. And, and everything is referenced, Jen. So you know how important it is that we back up our statements, so everything is 100% referenced. But we've got like infographics and anything we can think of, any way, and our members, if they come up with new and different ways that they'd like the materials, will then we jump straight to it. And we go through topic by topic by topic. What do we have the science on? Like some of the latest topics I've been working on. And for some people that might not know the work we're doing, I've got an upcoming online class, just a 2-hour online class where you can just come along and listen to. And the latest topic I'm working on is how, according to the brain model, this latest contemporary understanding about chiropractic, based on the last 25 years of research, how might chiropractic care impact organ function? We used to think it was the nerve roots, right? You have to adjust here because that's the nerve that goes to there. Well, no. According to the brain model, that's not the case. So if you want to learn more about, well, how is it then I've got a 2-hour class on that. And after that, I'm diving into chiropractic and sports, because there's so many. What is the evidence about us being able to improve sports performance? How might we improve sport performance? Like, what's the mechanisms? And then what about injury prevention or shortening recovery time? So again, just going to go through what we know. And so that's what I'm doing. That's what I offer, is helping you and your CAs. That's the third platform, because they answer the phone, right? So they talk to a lot of patients. So we just, again, teach them the facts, just the facts, so they can communicate the short soundbite. You've got to understand it because you've got to own it and be able to answer questions. So it's for all of you. And so you can thrive in an evidence-based world.
And that's the new world format, is to be able to have that online learning capacity that you can listen to Heidi while you're on the treadmill or in the car doing drop-off, because people want to be able to just get that immersive learning. And that's the greatest thing about these online teaching platforms, is that we can actually deliver content to you in a way that gives you in your lifestyle, with your schedule how to get that stuff dropping into your head, because it comes
Because you
back.
can turn it into a little, you can turn it into an app with 3 steps. Now, you've got a step further and actually created it, which is very clever, and I want you to tell me about that. But with Kairos Hub and Kairos Academy, with 3 little steps, you can create it into, it's all, iPhone, smartphone compatible. So you can listen to 5-10 minute segments at a time. And then I actually ask you questions because I want to make sure you're learning it, because, our attention spans are getting worse. But you've built an app, right?
And hang on, before that, when is the 2-hour talk? People can.
It's coming up in November. Let's pop a link to that, because me knowing exactly when it is not necessarily what I'm good at.
Not in front of.
It's coming up in November, and then the sports topic will be probably in March again next year. But these little 2-hour ones, they're just to get you, just to get an idea of how I teach, and how I cover the research on a particular topic. And if you want more, then know that there is an entire library there for you. And if you want to then, translate it into patient speak, I've done all of that as well. And all of that's available too. We've even done health talks for Kairos. So if they give talks in there, and you guys know the benefit of that, giving talks to your local community, to patients. Like, we've got PowerPoints, we've got all the references, we've got all the images. So it's all, and all you need to do is just step in, and like a lot of the times you just play one of these little videos, we've got some facts on a couple of slides, you add in your own content and you're done. Like, it's not hard, but it makes such a difference.
Well, especially when you've got a talent like you,
You've done
that we can stand on your shoulders. I think that's the thing we try and say to chiropractors, that you don't have to reinvent it yourself. And we are in the trust business. And in order to build trust in your community, you need to be telling the truth, not just making up the latest sizzle. And when you can stand on Heidi Haavik's enormous shoulders and go, no, this is research and fact, that's the gold, and it's priceless, but it's something that we have to work at as communicators and educators, because medicine doesn't do that, and most of healthcare doesn't educate the community. It just
They don't. And it's appalling that they don't, because it's so important that they get the information. Now, please, can we go back to you guys, because I know you've created an app and you've got, another 25, 30 years of experience each that you have put into this, taking care of kids in practice. So tell me, what have you put together?
We've got a Spotify for chiropractors, really. It's a multi-streaming platform where you can literally listen to it like you would Spotify, listen to the different. It's not really podcast, because we've got all of our slides and lessons on there as well. Most of them are like 10 or 15-minute videos max. Because we want you to have bite-sized bits of information that you can then integrate. We record our seminars and break it up into those bite-sized pieces. Then we've also got some things on there for parents with tongue-tie, because when you start taking tongue-tie seriously and you really own it, the chiropractic profession is the only one that can help these kids, because we understand cranial dynamics as well as tongue, and that we have a couple of slides of Heidi Haavik at the start of everything we do, because that model is the model of chiropractic that fires up the brain and the prefrontal cortex to do the work, and we can humbly step back, because the body will do the healing if we do the right adjustments. And the better the adjustments, the better the prefrontal cortex wakes up and gets back to work. And so everything we do is based on your work. So thank you again. And we're leaning on that amazing truth that you have discovered, and developing techniques backwards from there that are all vitalistic, because they are honoring the healing power of the body by doing our adjustments, and then even going deeper into organs and all the ganglia and firing those up to get the peripheral nervous system feeding back quickly into the prefrontal cortex.
I think what you do amazingly well is, he's very, very proficient in working out what's happening with people and leaning into understanding how to help them. So you have developed really different techniques over the last however many years. For example, with brainstem overwhelm, which so many people have had post-COVID with all the stress and toxins and things. And so, we've been able to take amazing results in practice and then help chiropractors to not just take cookie cutter approaches in practice, to actually lean into what's happening with the individual patient and how can they work with the brain and the nervous system and adjusting quickly the spine and the cranium and things. But do what's needed for the changing needs of patients today. And I think that's really, really relevant, whether we're talking about tongue tie and how to help these babies, or, POTS and brainstem overwhelm and all of those things. So I think that the feedback we get is chiropractors love coming to our seminars, which, as we've said, are recorded and available in the app, because it reminds them to trust who they are as healers, that they can be clinically proficient and help people get amazing results. So,
and all that latest research is showing that it seems to be an overload, either chemically, emotionally, or physically, that sets off the self-perpetuating cycle of the subluxation, and so it's why it just fits beautifully, doesn't it, with what you're seeing in practice, which, makes me so happy about the model.
Yeah, and you don't have to get into all these ancillary mechanical devices, electrical devices, massage, like chiropractic adjusting can be done expediently and powerfully. And that's the bit we want you to get, is your practice can escalate into this incredible space of dealing with much more important, and I'm saying more important, brainstem overwhelm, breathlessness, inability to function in life, much more important than back pain.
The power of that adjustment is much, much more than just back pain, neck pain, and headaches. Way more. Like we've actually been recording we're working on some new technology to record the autonomic nervous system, and we're also recording from both the chiropractor and the patient at the same time. So it's really, because I think there's a communication there that's not verbal as well. There's an energy sharing, and this is called hyperscanning in the EEG literature. But when we've been doing it with the autonomic nervous system technology, Simon and Jen, it's unbelievable.
Goosebumps.
Oh, the patient's sympathetic nervous system is going up as they're talking about their symptoms when I'm interviewing them before I'm starting the adjustments. Then I'm in sympathetic, I think, when I'm in the listening to them mode. Then when I start adjusting them, when I'm actually adjusting them, they're firing off the sympathetic nervous system. Then when I'm doing cranial work, they're dropping into parasympathetic. But guess what's happening to my autonomic nervous system when I'm adjusting them and doing all of this? I disappear.
Oh.
I think we're just a channel.
Wow.
I'm just gone. Like, so I was like, lots happening in my autonomic nervous system when I was talking to them. But and we've done this now. I've trialed it on about 4 or 5 patients over like 2 or 3 weeks, just to test the system out and to monitor both. So there's some really cool research coming out too. But everything we're finding is exactly what you're saying. You don't think you have to learn, 15,000 different techniques more, that you don't have to be a neurologist, like just because I'm a neurophysiologist, that's because I'm doing the research, right? You're the practitioner. You just need to be able to check and safely adjust, from newborn babies until the day someone passes, right? That's the key. But there is an art to that too. So again, going to technique seminars, I think, is extremely important, but it's also very important to know what's going on. Like, we have 25 years of research now. It's your science, and I'd just love you to own it. Own it and share it and get people excited. We have people coming in now to the research centre because we've been talking so much, and they're going, I really noticed that the clarity of my thought was just fantastic after I started getting care. They're not even talking pain. I was saying the clarity of my thought, and I was feeling more calm and
amazing.
That's excitement. That's practice. That's what we should. That's what I'm blessed to have. Is patients coming going, my life is changing. Not it's not.
But it is okay that people come in with the I need pain to begin with too. You've got to meet them where they're at, right? And there's an art to all of that as well. But you can take them on the journey from pain relief to prevention to performance, and that's where the gold is.
Yeah, wonderful. Very exciting time.
I know. So when does your how do they get your app? Because you didn't say that.
We have that on the on our website. You can buy any of the courses or
any of the products. So welladjusted.co, and that will have all my updates, because I'm updating the 3rd edition of Well Adjusted.
And she's writing a book on genomics right now, and how.
As you do, Jen. Because you've got nothing more to do.
Well, I think it's a really important area for chiropractors to have a seat at the table, because there's so many vitalistic, holistic principles that we own as a profession, and functional medicine tries to do the this for that. Whereas if, as a profession, we can understand the role that
It's more complex.
plays, which is,
It's the chemical side of the subluxation.
Yeah.
Don't
And then you're not letting your beautiful, intelligent brain go to waste because you are so good at putting this into words,
And mums need it. They're being misdirected at the moment. Like the tongue tie we were talking about in the other interview, women need to know what to take instead of folic acid to help fortify, that development. So all important stuff that's, coming about in our world, which is exciting.
And it's
Well, we've got to do this more regularly, guys, because this was
get so juiced up thinking about how exciting it is for everyone out there. And please make sure you come to the Kids Summit. If not, contribute to the Kids Summit, because we need the research. And Heidi is the one that is leading that trail, has got the credits on the board for being the world leader for us. We use your stuff every day of the week, and we're so...
Well, think of how much has changed in the last decade. All chiropractors around the world know we changed the brain now. That was brand new 15 years ago when we actually found it, right?
You and your research, so we need to support you.
So it can make such a big difference. And so right now we're doing the baby work, the newborn baby work with chiropractic. If you can support it, can you imagine where that will go in the next 10 years?
Amazing.
And those babies need us. But thanks very much, guys. Absolutely wonderful to talk to you guys.
Can't wait to see you next month. It's a month.
I know, twice.
All right, great.
See you guys.
All right.
Stop the recording.
How does
no,
that was what I did before.
Maybe record.
There's a little stop button. Should be.
Anyway, I will find it. We can cut
We
this
better
off.
just check.